Hi guys, welcome to my September TBR. Okay, so in this video, my cats are actually going to be picking out little prompts that are from this little TBR cards. Oh my god. So I'm just going to scatter them. I mean, you're going to see the footage anyway, but I'm going to scatter them everywhere and then see which ones they pick. I'll put in the footage now where the cats are going to be picking the little pink prompts. So let's start with the most daunting one. So there's choose a book, which is the biggest one on your shelf. You can do it. And this is kind of chaotic and troublesome for two reasons. So we'll see how this goes, but the biggest one I had on my current shelf is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. And the thing is, this is actually, it works because this is also, I think it would pass for Austria, because I am trying to still, throughout the year, do the Reading Around the World Challenge, which I'll post a different video showing which ones I've already read. But this would pass for Austria as well, which obviously it's like a win-win situation. But I don't know, I'm kind of just terrified of this book. Oh, but it does, wait, does it have pictures? Is that normal? I feel like I never thought this book would have, I mean, that's literally all the pictures it has. Oh wait, no, it's got like cute other stuff. This is actually pretty cute. Okay, I feel like it's less daunting. But either way, I don't know. I mean, I am going to read it because it is a prompt, so I'll put this one in here and leave it out. So that's the first one that I'm hopefully going to be reading in September. Okay, the next prompt is choose a book which is the fourth one in from the left side of your bookshelf. And for me, okay, this is actually like a really pleasant surprise. Okay, so the funny thing is, so I got this at the same time as I got The Book Thief, right? Sorry, this is Yeonam-dong's Smiley Laundromat. I've heard really good things about this. It seems really cozy. It just seems really cute. I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be one of those calming and relaxing reads, basically. And I bought this at the same time, and I literally told myself once I finished reading The Book Thief, I was going to read this as like a little prize. I get it, The Book Thief, like reading The Book Thief is an honor in itself, or it should be an honor itself, but I just needed something to push me to reading it. I have already done the Korea, as in I read a book from Korea already, but I think obviously the more the merrier. So I am really, really excited about this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, the next book was choose a book which has a yellow cover. Now, I have two books. One of them is half yellow and the other one is fully yellow, but I have Oh, hi, Snowball. Hi. Personally chosen the half yellow one. Solely because the other one was A Thousand Splendid Suns, whereas this is Tales from the Cafe. I think I've read all the others except I've not read the pink one. I can't remember what they're called, but I'll put them here. And I love them. I think that they're calming, but they're insightful, and I just love the introspection. It's just really interesting to see what people would do if they could go back in time and do things differently, or say something that is going to help their current selves. You know, like it's fascinating. But yeah, so this is the one I'm picking for the yellow cover. Okay, so for the next one, I've done choose a book which has 5 words in the title, right? And the one that I had on my bookshelf, the only one I had on my bookshelf, which is so sad, was Women Don't Owe You Pretty. And I'm not gonna lie, I have been meaning to read this. I just feel like this is gonna be so insightful and empowering. Yeah, so in the contents, I don't know, it just seems really fascinating. It is nonfiction. Feminism is going to ruin your life in the best way possible. You are the love of your own life, how to break up with yourself, refuse to find comfort in other women's flaws. Which I honestly, that's such a vibe, because I feel like if somebody else sees someone better than them, then they feel inferior, and that's not really what we should be doing. We should just be like, that's great for you, and it's great for us as a community, essentially. Okay, let's. It's funny I said that, because the next one is, are they intimidating or am I intimidated? Okay. If I didn't have a cat, I would have thought a mouse just ran past. Stop scrolling in the mornings, protect your energy, to date or not to date. And there's just like a bunch of more, okay? I just feel like the contents for this just sound beautiful. It's pink, it's colorful, why not? So that's the first option. This is the one that I physically have. Other options for this one that I might go with via audiobook. Chai Tea at Cinnamon Gardens, which I think it just sounds really beautiful and I would love to read it. The Lonely Hearts Book Club. This one I might just read because it's easy and it seems really easy breezy. Like, it doesn't seem like I have to put a lot of thought into it, which it's so funny. I hate when people say that, but I think with the other stuff I've got going on, you'll see in a second, it might get, I don't know. I don't want it to be too heavy, if that makes sense. Yeah, so those are the options, but I am really excited about this one. I need to see if it's going to fully help me or not. The next one is choose a book which has a 1-word title. Okay, and for this one, the books I currently own, once again, I have Manifest, which is also a nonfiction. So I think if I do finish that one, then I might read this one. But the only problem with me reading this one, basically, I was kind of obsessed with Roxy Nafusi. So she came onto a podcast of somebody, I can't remember, I watched it so long ago. But I was just obsessed with the way she was talking, how she was kind of talking about manifestation in general. And that's why I bought the book. But then I basically watched every single video she was in. And she has like her own, not a series, but like she has her own like a YouTube video where she's kind of talking about it and kind of directing you through the book. So I think that's one of the reasons I'm kind of apprehensive about reading the book, because I feel like I've technically gotten the information, which is how I would describe nonfiction books anyway. Nevertheless, it is on my bookshelf, and there are like little exercises. I don't know if you can see that properly. There are little exercises that you can do. I don't think I'm going to be doing it in the book. I'll probably do it outside of it if I do it. Because I just saw this and it says getting comfortable with discomfort. The cycle of self-sabotage. I'm not going to lie, I don't know if anyone else can relate, but I do really relate to that. So maybe I do need to read this. Maybe this is a sign. Okay, so that's the first option for a book with 1-word title. The next one, which is funnily enough the second largest book on my bookshelf, is it Babel? Babel, I'm guessing. Yeah, so the next one is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I know her new one just came out. I cannot remember the name of it. I just think that R.F. Kuang is one of the most beautiful and intelligent and well-spoken people. Like, I absolutely love watching her in interviews. I think she teaches a master's class in a university somewhere. I don't know where, I don't know what she teaches in particular, but I just think that whoever is a part of that must be so lucky, because that's just a lot of beautiful stuff going on. There are obviously like other one-word titles that I can be getting elsewhere as well, but I do think that me reading this would be such a good idea. And then maybe I can read the next one as well. But right now, especially in Abu Dhabi, like it's crazily expensive to get that one. Yeah, I got this in the works for like £5. Pretty proud of that, but I do need to get rid of this, so yeah. Yeah, so this one is going to be like the most likely one, unless I get like passionate about non-fiction. But these two are the potential for choose a book which has a one-word title. The last one chosen by the cat was choose a book whose author's surname begins with an L. And I have scoured the internet, as well as, I mean, my bookshelf didn't have any, but I scoured the internet to try finding somebody even that I know. It was Harper Lee, and that's To Kill a Mockingbird, I believe. I am not reading that. Like, I'm not reading that right now. I don't know if I'm ever going to be reading it. I'm just so disinterested. I don't know why. Maybe that'll change in the future, but right at this moment, I'm not reading that. So I did find some on Everend, which is like the audiobook app I use. Vanessa Jared's Got a Man by Laquette. And honestly, this looks pretty good. I think I kind of looked into it a tiny bit, but I don't actually know much about any of these books right now. This one's about a 40-year-old divorcee, and I think she's like putting herself back out there and, you know, seeing what's there, which I do like. Like, it's a fun premise in my head. The next one is Shred Sisters by Betsy Lerner and Rebecca Lohman. And I don't know what this is, but I know it's a literary fiction, which I really do want to be getting into more of. I don't know if you can tell. But I do want to be getting into more of that, even though every time I read a literary fictions, I do need to read like a romance or just a cozy read afterwards, just to understand that the world isn't as brutal. I know it sounds silly, but also like in literary fiction, it is more so about the reality of the world, which I love, and that's why I want to get into it more. But at the same time, it does take a lot out of me personally, anyway. And then the last option for an author's surname beginning with L is Desserts for Stressed People by Letizia Lorini. And I don't know why, I find the title really funny. I think this is just like your typical rom-com. So I think if it does get too heavy, or if I am just being like, okay, I just need to read a book that's not about anything, then I think rom-coms, I think that's why they're there, in my personal opinion. The other two books I would like to finish in September are the two books I'm currently reading right now. One of them is 8 Detectives by Alex Pavesi. I am currently 67 pages into this, and I think the premise is just really, really, really interesting. Okay, so this is about Grant McAllister, who in the 1930s, he was a maths professor, whereas now he's more of an author. I don't know if he was an author like at the time, I don't know. Where I'm up to, I really don't know much of what's happening, if I'm being honest. And then he disappears, and this woman called Julia Hart tracks him down, and she's kind of reading through a bunch of his short stories. So far we've read through 2 of his short stories, and there's not like there's not a lot of interaction going on between Julia and Grant in the current day. But so far, I think the idea is that he's actually solving real life murder mysteries that happened in the 1930s in his writing. And so I think that's like the only thing that's keeping me going right now, because it's I don't know, I don't like it when there's short stories in the middle of books, of like the whole thing. Like I think it just feels very stagnating, and I don't particularly like it. But I think But this one, I do want to finish it. So that's the one I hope to finish in September. The other one I'm reading on my Kindle, which is Drakon, The Empire's Curse. I think I saw like a snippet of it on TikTok and I was just like, I downloaded it straight away and I started reading it. And then it just kind of like slowed down and like not much was happening in it. And then I kind of stopped reading it as much as I was reading at the point. But I do plan on finishing it. And I think it's book 1 in a series. So I don't know how I feel about that because I'm not a huge fantasy person. I was reading it for the romance, but I don't know how I feel about the romance. It's just not looking good right now. I probably will finish book 1, but I don't know if I'm going to be continuing with the series. Just because I don't like it when there's like a strong female character who then gets with a guy and then becomes less strong. I'm not going to say weak, but she does become less strong. Okay, but either way, these are the potential books I will be finishing in September. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please do let me know what you're going to be reading in September. Let me know if you would have made some different decisions based on the prompts. And I'll hopefully see you in a new video very soon. Bye!